All right, so back to the rest of chapter 2. Oops, sorry. Okay, so concept of environment. This there's a major influence on overall individual functioning. So the environment is obviously going to affect how a person functions. If they live, when you talk about environment in terms of air quality, environment in terms of loving and nurturing, environment in terms of being able to get to a grocery store is obviously going to affect someone's overall health. And influences what nursing is and what nurses do, right? If you work in an environment where it's violent, it's going to affect the way we can provide community health. And then there's internal and external environmental factors. So the internal environment are ideas, biological makeup, emotions, psychosocial elements. The external environment we talk about are physical surroundings, external events, influences. So the things that I talked about earlier when it came to like air quality and stuff like that. So the concept of health, there's no current consensus of what that is. There's no like set definition. This is health, right? We have many different definitions of it. There's role definition, disease-free definition, and then it's adaptable to change. So the role of people in health, and then the status of somebody's well-being. But it's central to nursing care is the concept of health. So human capability versus pathology, it's self-defined. The idea of homeostasis and balance comes in when we talk about the true definition of health. So the concept of nursing is that interaction among person, health, and environment, and it becomes the focus of nursing care. It extends into all areas of healthcare and delivery system. So there's nurses, educational level, and health promotion. Here's the deal. Health promotion is going to be taught at all levels of education, even if it's, even if you did a quick, not quick, I shouldn't say quick. I don't want to say it like that. But you did a diploma degree, which focuses on the really important what we would deem like, okay, this is the most important part about nursing, which is like the assessment and skills and all that. You still talk about levels of health and promotion. Associate degree as well. I've taught in the associate arena and I've taught in the diploma arena, and both still have levels of health promotion. You get really deep into it once you get into the baccalaureate degree, which is where we are now, your master's. In fact, there's masters in nursing where all your focus is on health prevention and promotion. And then your doctoral degree, whether it's practice-based, like what I'm getting is the doctor of nursing practice, that's a clinically based doctorate, or research-based, which is the PhD. So the theoretical foundations of nursing, we're going to go through all of them. And I'm going to show some short videos on each of them just because I think they explain it better than I. So Pender's model of health promotion, it's the framework that determines which factors influence health promoting behavior. So what's our motivation, our self-efficacy, and expectancy.
wellness, but a holistic state of well-being. The health promotion model is the promotion of healthy lifestyles with the result of improving one's quality of life. The theory is made up of 5 key sections. This includes person, environment, health, illness, and nursing. This model shows the many ways a person interacts with their environment in relation to their health. The health promotion model is applied in nursing education to help nurses promote healthy lifestyles through a holistic approach. It is used to stop illness before it happens and focus on the wellness instead of simply the absence of disease. This model is used in research to determine whether outside influences impact an individual's behavior and whether intervention programs improve health. A clinical example of this model is assessing a patient's readiness to learn before education. Once the patient shows this readiness, education will begin on healthy behavior and why these behaviors are important to implement. An example would be a person diagnosed with pre-diabetes. The nurse would educate on healthy foods, portion control, and exercise. The major focus of the health promotion model is the assessment of the multiple dimensions of the individual. First, this includes the individual's characteristics and personal experiences. Second, they take a look at the behavior-specific cognitions and effect, such as the perceived self-efficacy and perceived benefits of action. This also includes interpersonal and situational influences and commitment to action. Lastly, the health promotion model assesses behavioral outcome, which is the health promoting behavior. In the end, the greater the personal commitment to health, the more likely the health behaviors will be maintained.
So, the systems theory focuses on exchanges of energy among systems and subsystems. This is Dorothy Johnson's behavioral systems model.
19 in Savannah, Georgia. The Johnson Behavioral System Model was developed in 1968. The client is seen as a collection of 8 behavioral subsystems that form a whole behavioral system. Therefore, the behavior is the system, not the individual. Dorothy Johnson died in February of 1999. The behavioral subsystems are ingestive, which is the intake of needed resources, eliminative, which is the release of physical waste products, affiliative, which is the development and maintenance of interpersonal relationships, dependency, which is obtaining assistance from others for completing tasks, sexual, which is ensuring pleasure, procreation, and being congruent with biological sex, aggressive protective, which is response to threats to ensure survival, achievement, which is associated with mastery of oneself, restorative, which is maintaining or restoring energy equilibrium. Assumptions. There is organization, interaction, interdependency, and integration of the parts and elements of behavior that go to make up the system. A system tends to achieve a balance among the various forces operating within and upon it. The individual is continually presented with situations in everyday life that require adaptation and adjustment. The achievement of this balance may and will vary from individual to individual.
Hello, Dorothy.
Hello, CJ.
Okay, so today we have Marcus and his wife, Marcy.
Hello, Marcus. Hello, Marcy. Hi, Dorothy.
This is Dorothy Johnson. She's working with us today on the unit. She's actually a guest at the hospital, and she's a well-known nursing theorist. So she's going to be working with all the nurses. Okay? So I'm just going to give her background about you. So he's 75 years old. He's living with his wife at home, who is 70 years old. And Marcus came here and he was diagnosed with lung cancer, and he does have metastasis to the brain, unfortunately. And he has a lower left lobectomy. He reported his pain to be at a level of 6 to 8 today, but his vitals are stable. He's on TPN, and he has been eating very fairly. He also has IV morphine. At moments he is lucid, so he doesn't always know where he is or who's with him. This morning when his daughter visited him, he didn't recognize her. She will be coming around later on, and his family's going to be helping him with ADLs, that sort of thing. He does need some assistance with that.
Okay. All right, Mr. Marcus. I'll be around the hospital for the whole day, okay? And CJ, if you have any questions, just come see me.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. Hi, Dorothy. Oh, this is my good nurse. Hi, Miss Fab. Oh.
So she's gonna be with you. She has a few questions, okay?
Okay. All right. Have fun, okay?
Hi, Dorothy. This is
How can I help you?
Trude. Well, I have some questions about the patient market that you met earlier.
Okay. What's the matter?
So I was a little confused about your subsystem affiliative and the dependency. I was wondering if I need some advice on how I can apply that theory to Marcus. I diagnosed him with insufficiency of the affiliative subsystem and a dominance in the dependency subsystem.
Okay, well, let's do one at a time.
Okay.
Well, if you recall, the affiliative subsystem has to do with his sense of belonging to a group. In your assessment, what kind of group behavior did you see him participate in?
Well, some of his family visits him in the evenings, and they help him with his ADLs. But other than that, I haven't seen any therapeutic interactions between Marcus and his family.
Okay, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have any grandchildren?
Why do you ask?
Well, personally, in my experience, when my grandfather was on his deathbed, he would always tell me some of his stories, and he always told me how an open ear would help him still feel like part of the family instead of a burden. And I'm seeing how you can apply this to Marcus. You should ask him to, you should encourage him to pass down his stories to his grandchildren.
Oh, okay, that's a good idea. Okay, so now about the dependency issue. I've noticed that his family does a lot for him.
Okay.
Yet, I know he is almost able to do most of the things they help him with on his own. If they keep it up, helping him so much, he's going to become reliant on them. So how can I help him how can I help him be more dependent?
Okay. So he can do most of the stuff, but his family's doing it for him anyways.
Yes.
He needs all the help he can get, but you should still encourage him to do anything that he can. But make sure you tell the family as well. Otherwise, they're going to keep on doing this.
I see. Okay, thank you so much, Dorothy. You've been a great help.
No problem. I'll be right here in my office if you need any more questions.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Dorothy.
Hello.
Sorry to bother you. I know it's lunchtime and it looks like you have a lot on your plate, but I really need some advice with Marcus's case.
Alright, no problem.
Alright.
What's going on?
I just went into his room and I was trying to see how he was doing with his lunch, and it doesn't seem like he's eating the majority of his portions. He does have an imbalance in his nutrition right now. So I'm trying to see what we can do to help him out.
Okay, well, first of all, the ingested subsystem fulfills the need to supply the biologic requirements with food and fluid. And I see what your concern is, that Marcus is not receiving the full caloric intake of solid foods, even though he's receiving a TPN.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So I'm wondering like what advice you can give me to help increase Marcus's nutritional intake.
Well, I've noticed that the food that comes from Marcus's room is full of like all these things, and by the time he takes a few bites, it becomes really full. So I think instead of food coming to him 3 times a day with, a tray that's super duper full like this, we should give him 5 mini meals that are full in protein and calories.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Well, I'll get on nutritional services. I'll call him up right away and see if we can implement that into his care plan.
Sounds great.
Do you need those?
No, go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Dorothy.
Dorothy, is it okay if I come in?
Yeah, it's okay. I'm just participating in my limited subsystem.
Should I stay outside?
No, come on in.